Hi everyone. I was kind of prompted to do a video about finger foods that are good for babies, like around, some people start them earlier and some people start them later, but around like 7, 8 months till they have teeth. They're just good finger foods, good to get coordination, they're healthy, and they're also something that you can eat with them, so it's good, it's helpful, so you don't have to make 2 meals every single time you eat. I'm going to start with breakfast. This is just kind of typically what we do with my son. He's 11 months old. These are some things that I do with him. In the morning we like to make fruit shakes. Let me get the stuff for it. We get a yogurt of any flavor, it doesn't really matter. I like the Weight Watchers, but there's also others that don't have the high fructose corn syrup in it, like Yoplait and Dannon. All those have high fructose corn syrup in it, so I try to avoid those, just a little bit healthier. But Weight Watchers, they don't have it, and there's 100 calories in one serving, so it's pretty good. So that's good for me, and then the kids also still get all of the vitamins and nutrients and things, so I can eat that with them. And then I put in flaxseed meal. It's like milled flaxseed. You can get flaxseed, and you can actually mill it yourself, like in a blender or like a coffee grinder. But you can also buy it pre-ground. It's got omega-3 in it, so that's really good for the kids. This one happens to be organic. You don't have to get organic. I got this at Costco. You could probably get it at Sam's Club too, or something similar anyway. You add like 2 to 4 tablespoons. There's like a scoop in there. You can add this to smoothies, cereal, oatmeal, yogurt, salad, pasta, juice, ice cream, baked goods. I mean, like everything. So it is really good for you. You cannot taste it at all. I swear to you. You cannot taste it at all. It's really good. And then I'll put in like 2 oranges. And sorry. I'll put in a banana, a whole banana. I just cut little slivers of cabbage. I hate cabbage. Can't tell it's in there. If you use a small amount, don't use a large amount. If you don't like cabbage, if you like cabbage, then throw it all in there. And then I put in spinach. I like the taste of spinach. If you don't, I wouldn't put very much. But I love it. I don't mind it. I don't even notice it's in there. And I cram the blender full of it, so the kids get lots of spinach. And then also, I just put in frozen strawberries. I also get this at Costco. It's like $8 for a whole bag of strawberries. We go through it really fast because we do them every day, but you don't have to do them that often. But that's what we put in our shakes. And then I just put water with it. I don't put milk because my son's under 1. If they're over 1, you can add milk to it. That's fine. But that also keeps the calories down for me. Is just using the water, and then the creaminess of the banana and the yogurt actually make it really creamy. It's really good. That is one breakfast thing that we do. And Davis will drink a whole sippy cup full of it. He loves it. Another thing is oatmeal. Oatmeal is great. This is instant oatmeal. This is cinnamon and apples. I like cinnamon apples because it's got apples in it. I don't know how truly apples they are. They might just be dried imitation. I don't even know. I try. I get the low sugar one. I try not to get the maple and brown sugar just because of more sugar in it. So I try to stick with this one, and he really likes this. Taylor, my other little boy, when he was young and still hates oatmeal, but Davis loves it. So that's a good healthy alternative. Also, Cheerios are a good finger food. And let's see, what else do I have on my list? Eggs. You can give babies eggs. I believe it's over 8 months, but only the egg whites. But if your baby's already eating bread and things, chances are they've already had egg white and egg yolk, and if they've tolerated that fine, they're probably fine. But they do recommend only egg whites until 1 year old. I'll give them some bread. I'll put a little jelly on it, just a thin layer, and then I just cut it up into little bite-sized pieces. He loves that. That's pretty much all for breakfast. Those obviously he can have pancakes and waffles and anything like that. I just don't put syrup on them. I just give them to him dry, and he really likes them just fine that way. So that keeps the sugar down on those as well. As for lunch, we do like deli meat. I'll cut it up into just little squares. They say the rule of thumb is to keep the pieces smaller than the tip of your pinky, so that they won't choke on them. I do them a little bit bigger, but that's what they say. Davis has never had any problems with it. He's a good gummer, but if your kid has a hard time chewing, then I would definitely cut them small. I use string cheese because it's a soft cheese. It's a little bit better for you. I buy the white string cheese. I think it's mozzarella. I have one out here. This is the one that I usually buy. But you can get any brand or anything. I just rip it in half, and then I cut it into little pieces, and he can gum that just fine. He gets through that really good. And he likes that for lunch. Ritz crackers are good. I brush the salt off of them just to keep them a little bit healthier. You don't have to, but I do. And they're good just so they're not as flaky like his saltines and stuff, so they don't choke on him. He really likes those. So sometimes I'll just get him like cheese, deli meat, a couple crackers, and that's his lunch. Another thing that's really good too is black beans. Get black beans just to open a can. You can warm them up. You can give them right out of the can. Depends on how cautious you are of bacterias in cans and things. I've never had any problems, but some people are worried about that. So if you want to warm them up, you can. Not right out of the can. You can. I rinse them off and take all the juice off that they're packaged in. And this is the brand that we usually get. Just the Southwestern, I think that's what it's called, Southwestern black beans. But yeah, I just rinse them off until that they're totally just clean of them, and then they're a lot cleaner for the kids to eat. You can also put them in a tortilla shell with cheese, cut it up really small, and I usually put spinach with Davis's also because he doesn't even notice it's there, so why not make it healthy? So you can cut that up into like little tiny squares, give it to them. You can have a burrito as well, so you can eat that with them. Or you can just give them black beans and cheese and rip up tortilla shells if you don't want to put it together. That seems to work out really well too. Another bean that's really good too is a white bean. They're a good size. You can go with like kidney beans and red beans and all those, but they're a little bit bigger. Davis is fine with them. He's eating them. But you don't have to if you feel more comfortable with the smaller bean if your kid is not as good at gumming them, but they're really easy to gum, so that's good. Peaches, it's a good thing. Obviously cut them up small. Oranges, you can get canned oranges. I try to get them not in syrup or in a light syrup at least, and then I always still rinse them off before I give them to him just to make it a little bit healthier for him. Macaroni and cheese is always a good option. I try to lay off the macaroni and cheese. They say it's healthy, but it's really not all that great in my opinion. But for kids, they need the fat and things like that. I don't like to eat it with them, so I don't like to make it. So my kids very rarely have macaroni and cheese, but that is a good thing for a baby to eat. Aside that it does have milk in it, you can take the milk out of it and put water with it because, kids don't really care one way or another. It's not as good for, like, us to eat, but it doesn't really taste much different. So you could do water with it if you're concerned about that amount of milk for your kid that's under 1. Another thing that we like to do for lunch is garden burgers. I'm actually out of the ones we normally use, but these are Morningstar garden burgers, but I normally do, it's the Garden Burger brand, and I buy the original. They only have vegetables and rice and cheese, and they're totally good for babies under 1. They're great. They take a minute in the microwave to warm up. They're healthy. They're easy. They can gum them. They can get through them really easy. It works out really good for lunch, and I love them, so I can eat them with them at the same time. Both of our kids love them. And they're about $10 for a big box if you buy them at Costco or Sam's Club or something like that. If you buy them in the grocery store, they're about $1 a piece. So they can get a little expensive unless you buy them there. And that is for lunch. I'm going to have to do another video for dinner.